Hello my wonderful people, you are all welcome. In this video tutorial I'll be taking you on how to cut and sew this pleated trouser or trouser with pleating. So I would like you not to miss any part of this video, because missing it will be missing a vital part that will be of help to you in this video. And before I proceed, I would like to have a like from you on this video. And if you are new to my channel, hit on that subscribe button and let us now proceed. Hello my wonderful fans. If you intend to cut a trouser with pleating, that is double pleating on the front side of the trouser, the first thing you need to know is your measurement. So I'm going to mention the measurement I'll be using to cut this pleating trouser. The length for this trouser is 39.5. The waist is 32 inches. The bottom is 18 inches. The nail is 24 inches, while the lap is 30 inches. Now, as you can see, I've already folded my fabric as how it's supposed to be. This is the flooring edge, though I have trimmed something out from it for some reason. Now, and I've also folded it with the front of the right side of the fabric. This is the right side of the fabric, this is the right side of the fabric, and this is the wrong side or the back of our fabric. So, which I have already aligned. I have folded it into two, because if I'm measuring, I measure on one side. While cutting, I cut the two sides, which is the pair. I cut the pair of the front side, and I also cut the pair of the back side of the trouser. Now, what I have to do now is that I'm going to measure out the length, and this is the length measurement. I place my tape, removing 1 inch at the upper side of it. I remove 1 inch at the upper side of it. Now, let me tell you the reason why I removed 1 inch. So the reason why I removed 1 inch is that we will soon, during the sewing, we introduce what we call waistband, the waistband of the trouser, and which waistband is normally 1.5 inches. So if I remove 1 inch, I will also remove another ½ inch, which will be the seam allowance. That's the sewing allowance. I will remove sewing allowance, ½ inch sewing allowance, together with the 1 inch which I have already removed, which will give us the 1.5 or 1.5 inches of the band. So now, removing this 1 inch, when we input our band, it will make up with the 1 inches plus the ½ inches for the sewing allowance. It will make up for it. So that is the purpose I removed 1 inch at the top of it. I hope I'm clear. So I will now measure out the length of the trouser, the full length of the trouser. The full length of the trouser is 39.5 inches. I will mark 39.5 inches. I mark 39.5 inches. Then I will also measure out. I measure out 3 inches. The purpose for these 3 inches for the folding, and not just the folding. In these 3 inches we have what we call French curve. On this folding we have French curve folding, or turn up, what we call turn up. So that is the purpose why I need to add 3 inches. So we have 39 inches, 39.5 inches. When we put another 1 inch, it will be 40.5 inches. another 1 inches, which is 2 inches now, 41.5 inches. 41.5 inches, we put the third inches, which is 42.5 inches. So our 3 inches, additional 3 inches, will fall at 42.5 inches. So I will mark it. Don't worry, I will get my French cord, because this, what I'm drawing, supposed to be straight. So I'm supposed to use a French, I'm supposed to use a measurement stick to make sure that I have a straight line. This is supposed to be a straight line, but due to I have been conversant in using freehand, it's not all that bad with the freehand. But I will bring my measurement stick right now, so that I can use it to align it, to make sure that what we have here is straight. Whatever we are doing is straight. So I have measured out the full length and add our allowance, the folding allowance with the allowance for the French curve or the turn up. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to mark the waist. To mark the waist of the trouser. The waist of the trouser is 32 inches. 32 divided by 4 will give us 8 inches. 32 divided by 4 will give us what? 8 inches. Now we mark my 8 inches. I mark my 8 inches. And this 8 inches which I mark, what I will do is to add 3 inches or 3.5 inches for the pleating. So I'm going to add additional 3.5 inches at that 8 inches which I have marked. I will add it for the pleating. So I will add 3.5 inches for the pleating of the trouser. So remember, what we are dealing with is trouser with pleating. That's double pleating on the front side of it. So now this 3.5 inches, I will bring it down. Okay, if I should measure the total measurement after adding 3.5 inches, it will give us 11.5 inches. So I will bring it down and I will mark 11.5 inches. I mark 11.5 inches. So I will proceed. I've gotten my measurement stick. Then what I will do now is that I will align it to get a straight line. The flap, I will make the flap 10.5 inches, or the fly piece. inches. I will measure out the lap. Remember, the lap is 30. 30 divided by 2 gives us 15. But what we are having here is 13.5. I will mark 13.5, which I will still make it up while cutting the back of the trouser, the back panel of the trouser. So I will measure out the nail. The full length divided by 2 will give us the nail. Here we have 38.5 inches divided by 2 will give us 19.25, pardon, 19.25. So I marked 19.25 and I will connect it. So what I have here, I have the lap, I have the nail, I have the bottom side of it, and the nail what I have as my nail is 24 inches. 24 divided by 2 will give us 12 inches. 12 inches, and on the bottom side I have 18 inches. 18 inches divided by 2 will give us 9. So I will connect this first. Connect with a straight with my measurement stick to get a straight line. I will connect this. So I'm going to cut this right now, and after cutting I will now turn it to cut the back panel. The length is 39.5 and the waist is 32 inches. So I will turn it to cut the back panel. You see, as I turned it, the place at the bottom will now be at the upper side, while the upper side will be at the bottom. I will use this for the fly piece. That's our zipper area. So I will push this backward. Remember, what we are looking at for the lap is 30 inches, which is the measurement for the lap, 30 inches. The bottom is 9 inches, or that's 18 inches. The nail is 24 inches. Now I push this for the allowance. From this point we will get our sewing allowance, which will make up for the front. So now this allowance which I gave here is about this 2 inches allowance, but that does not mean that that's how we are going to leave it. We verify if adding 2 inches allowance on this will give us the 18 inches which we needed at the bottom. So I will take this and overlap it in such a way that I remove the sewing allowance for this for the back, and also the sewing allowance for this, in such a way it will be overlapped on each other by half inches. So I'm overlapping this by half inches. Then I will place my tape, removing half inches, which will also be the sewing allowance for this, and I will measure. So what I have here is 9.25, which is more than 18 inches. So which here is more than 18 inches. What we are having here, based on my measurement, is 18.5 inches. So what I have to do in this case, I will draw my fabric, the front panel of the trouser. I draw it closer to myself. I draw it closer, and now I will repeat the process until I get what I'm looking for. I'm overlapping it again by ½ inch on this side, which is the ½ inch is the sewing allowance which I'm taking out from this point. So I will now measure out, removing the ½ inch, which will also be the sewing allowance on this side, and I will measure. So what I have here is 9 inches, which is 9 times 2 will give us 18 inches. So I have 18 inches here. So the allowance left here is about 1.27, which the allowance to give us 18 inches on this bottom area of the trouser. So I will proceed to the lap area of the trouser. The lap area is 24 inches. So what do? I will also overlap. Let me first check the allowance I have on the lap area. The measurement I have on the lap area is 2.5 inches. I will overlap also by ½ inches. Then I will now measure out this, removing ½ inch same allowance, and I have 12 inches. I have 12 inches multiplied by 2 will give us the 24 inches, which is the nail measurement. I will proceed to the lap of the trouser. These are the lap of the trouser, which I gave a little notch before I push the front panel backward. I push it backward, so I gave a little notch, the notch that will correspond at this point. So I will place it, making it overlap by ½ inches. It overlap by ½ inches. Then I will measure. So what I have here, I have 14.25 inches, 14.75 inches, which is not up to 30. What I'm having here now is 29.5 inches. So what do I do so that I will make up the lap to be 30 inches? So what I will do is to push the front panel backward. I push the front panel backward on the lap area of it. I push it backward on the lap area of it. If you check the allowance, you find out that the allowance did not go straight, because we are trying to make up the space that on this side did not complete. So we have to make it up. On the lap area wasn't complete, so we have to make it up. So I have adjusted the front panel backward to repeat the process. So what I will do now is that I will still overlap it again by ½ inches. On the both sides. The ½ inches on the both sides is the sewing allowance. I have said it before, I'm repeating again, is the sewing allowance. So I will now place my tape. I place my tape again and remeasure. So this is 15 right now. This is another ½ inch, which will be the sewing allowance for this. So I have 15 inches on this side. So this 15 inches I've multiplied by 2 will give us 30 inches, which have make up the space for the allowance of the lap measurement. So now, having gotten this, what I have to do now is then I will mark on the flap area, on the fly piece side. This is the crush. I bring 2 inches upward. While marking here, don't use freehand curve as I did. Just you get your French curve and use your French curve to align it, so you can get what you want. So I'm going to cut this right now. After cutting it, cutting here. After cutting this area, we now cut the side of the trouser. So this is the trouser, our pleating trouser with pleating, and this is how to cut it. And I will give a mark of chalk to identify the wrong side of our back panel and the right side. So this is the wrong side, this is the wrong side, and this is the right side of the trouser. So this is all about how to cut it. And from here I will be bringing out the pocketing from this point. I bring out the pocketing and also bring out the band, the waistband from this remaining fabric. So this is all about how to cut trouser with pleating. We'll see you on the sewing aspect. One love. God bless you.